Little Isabel Martin would have turned 8 years old yesterday, but she was killed 1 week shy of that childhood milestone by her uncle along CV Circle in Sacramento, according to investigators. That same shooting also taking the life of someone else witnesses say had been fighting with alleged gunman Tyrese Martin just a few days before. As the community and the city began to mourn that tragedy, Sacramento Police Chief Daniel Hahn had this to say, quote, "I would like to thank the community leaders with Black Child Legacy who were instrumental in assisting officers and family members with the tragic scene." So, who are those leaders and just how were they able to reach out in this moment of crisis? Two of them join me now live. Shelly Dyer with the Sierra Health Foundation and Kim Williams, manager of the Hub and Sacramento Building Healthy Communities. Ladies, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Helping to run this effort known as the Black Child Legacy Campaign, what exactly did BCLC advocates do on the night of this double homicide to help the community and then eventually draw this praise from the chief? Shelly, let's start with you.
Sure. The Black Child Legacy Campaign is managed by the Center at Sierra Health Foundation, and there are 7 community-based organizations who lead up this work, a very professionalized group of individuals that include community intervention workers that both work with the prevention of violence and intervening during those moments of crises. Yes.
So what exactly happened that night, Kim?
So what happened is we get a phone call that there's been a crisis and where it is, and immediately we deploy our, we have 7 incubators throughout Sacramento, and we deploy those that are closest to where the crisis has occurred. And so we get the phone call that evening, and immediately our teams are deployed over to the area where they go to the crime scene to assist with family, to assist with the officers, really working to, you know, kind of help, because we know it's a traumatic experience. So we're there to support and do what we can to alleviate the stress that's happening at that particular moment. We also have teams that are deployed over to the hospital to support the families that are there, because when a victim is taken to a hospital, there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. And so our team is able to help the family navigate those systems so that they can get the information that they need. And really just providing that support to really make sure that the family can get the answers that they need, that we can help the police officers with what they're trying to do to investigate the situation. But really our main goal is to eliminate to lessen the trauma as much as possible to support families in any way we can.
Really being that bridge between a professional group of officers trying to do their job in the moment and the way that they have to do that versus a family that's just devastated and just very, very emotional, possibly angry, and trying to get some answers. Now, the campaign turned 5 years old last year and has been able to celebrate reducing the rate of child deaths in the area by 25% between 2014 and 2017. Reduction of Black child deaths specifically caused by gun violence is a particular focus. There were none in 2018 and in 2019, and that changed, unfortunately, in 2020. What happened or what is happening that this is going in the other direction, Kim?
Well, I think the reality is we have to face the fact that the pandemic has hit our community. It's hit the entire country very hard. And when folks have lost jobs and folks are losing homes, when folks are being sick, schools have been closed, youth activities have been cut, mental health is a big issue. So when all these things, it's a perfect storm of everything that can happen and go wrong is happening in our city. And it's a direct correlation to what we're seeing happening in our communities due to the pandemic. And so we have to adjust the work we're doing, and we have to expand our scope of work so that we can really meet the needs of the families.
A lot of people have been speaking out since Isabel Martin and Clifford Hall were killed. Sacramento City Councilwoman Katie Valenzuela, one of them, being very specific in saying that community groups like yours need more funding to fight against violence. Who funds you now? And what have you heard from her since that press conference about more monetary help? I know there was at least one conversation last Friday. Shelly?
Sure. Well, we have definitely been in touch with the councilwoman, and there's definitely a need of further long-term investment for Black leaders and Black communities. So we're really looking forward to more funding being released to be able to prevent violence and stop child deaths in Sacramento.
So no particular dollar amount or allocation that's been decided on so far?
Not just yet, but we are looking forward to those funds being released.
And your funding right now comes from?
It comes from multiple areas. We do have funding from the city and county of Sacramento. And the foundation as well, Sierra Health Foundation, is a private foundation that provides funding for our work also.
And I know we're talking about money right now, but just quickly, ladies, before we run out of time, is this a money issue or is this an imagination issue? Have we just not yet found the right model to connect with people and make them not want to turn to violence when things get tough?
No, I think it's a combination. I think it's resources, because the resources just aren't there, and they're not in a lot of the communities that are so desperately in need of resources. So I think that is one issue. I think we also have to reimagine how we are doing work, how we are working with our community, what public safety looks like, what mental health services look like, what youth programming looks like. If we can begin to really wrap our arms around those issues and really put the resources behind it, then we can move the tide and change the needle on this thing and turn it back the other way.
Alrighty, ladies, thank you so much for coming in this morning to share about the Black Child Legacy Campaign and all of those issues, the funding, the extra resources you need, and how we reimagine these solutions. We definitely want to keep the conversation going and have you back to talk about more of this as time goes on in Sacramento. Thank you so much.
Thank you.